Welcome back to Joe is Gaming. I'll be leaving these screens up for y'all to read while I talk. As I promised by the teaser trailer I uploaded a little while ago, welcome to Wars on the Sea. This is a naval campaign real-time strategy game brought to you by the developers of Killerfish Games, which are pretty well known for their naval strategy games, and this one I believe will be another success. As this is a new game, they are still working out some of the kinks and are regularly updating and improving the gameplay. But enough of them, I'm sure you're here for the game. War on the Sea is set in the Pacific Theater shortly thereafter the Battle of Midway during World War II. We will be playing as the Allies during Operation Watchtower, which was an early offensive operation to cut off the Japanese expansion that would have cut supplies from reinforcements from the U.S. to Australia. Our goals are to take the Guadalcanal and Florida Islands, and we will be building a level 5 air base on Guadalcanal. In order to do this, we have to take supplies and men from our main base in New Hebrides to said islands and set up shop. Once we have enough supplies stationed on those islands, we can build both a naval base and an air base. A naval base, which once leveled up, will allow me to rearm, repair my ships after combat instead of having to send them all the way back to New Hebrides, which will save us time and hopefully lives. A air base, which is pretty self-explanatory, once they are leveled up, will allow me to conduct sorties from those said islands to scout out and then attack Japanese shipping and surface fleets, which we will need to be sufficient at, because as you can see the map, we are pretty well on the back foot, and the enemy won't be just sitting idly by while I take the islands after island. They will be doing the same as us by reinforcing some of their already controlled bases as well as attacking some of ours. They will be using their surface fleet and their air power to attempt to slow and stop us. Starting out, we only have a limited amount of command points. Command points are always what is used in the game to purchase ships. We gain command points weekly in-game as well as some small amounts from destroying enemy vessels. The larger the vessels, like carriers and battleships, obviously costing and giving us the most, while subs and destroyers costing and giving us the least, right alongside of our transports, which will be needed to haul the supplies from home base to the forward bases. And with that, we can begin. Alright, I think our first goals are to get our fleets up. As you can see in the bottom left hand corner, the command points, that's what I was just speaking of. We only got 300 of them, we got to make them work. Which really won't be a lot, because as you can see, this sub right here is going to cost us 10. And I'm thinking I'm going to use these as screens, and I'm going to order a whole fleet of them. Because I'm going to plan on surrounding the Florida Islands and the Guadalcanal Islands, and have them completely surrounded by submarines, so nothing will get in without me knowing about it. I got 10 of them, and while we're doing this, we might as well go ahead and put as much things in here. These are the supplies I was speaking of. As you can see, there's troops and supplies. Well, subs can't carry engineering and fuel, which will be needed to build the bases. We can bring the supplies, which are used by the men as well as the base. So we'll go ahead and load them up onto the subs. Like so, and we will send them on their way to this island. I think we'll use this island as kind of a stepping stone. We'll go to it and then go up to the Florida Islands and the Guadalcanal, which are those two right there, those red stars. That's their base. That's where we're going to need to take. And right now the air coverage is just too far out. So if we can take this little base, set up a small air base on it, we can use them to send sorties out to kind of scout the area a little better than our subs can. Our subs are just going to kind of harass. Alright, so we got the sub fleet. Let's go ahead and get our carrier fleet, or should I start with the transports? I think we go carrier first. We'll go the Yorktown class. Do we bring out the Grey Ghost yet? I think we'll wait. Use Enterprise as an attack carrier. Right now, I think the Hornet would be a good escort carrier, even though she's a fleet carrier. Right now, these areas around New Hebrides, which is where we're at with a sub. You see that sub right there. Everywhere around us right now is pretty much surrounded by a bunch of subs, enemy subs. So we're going to have to clear out a way for our transports. In doing so, we'll use the Hornet to do so with a couple destroyer escorts, which is going to be the classic Fletcher class, which is a beautiful destroyer. It was the workhorse of the U.S. Navy. It really was during World War II. Now it's a little further out. We will get set up our transport fleet, which will consist of 2 merchant ships, 2 Fletcher class destroyers, and 1 oiler, which is a Cimarron. That Cimarron will be able to transport the oil that we need. The merchant ships can transport pretty much anything but oil. So they're good all-rounders to have. We'll get 1 more Fletcher class, which will be good against subs, so in case they get intercepted on their way to the island, they will be able to at least somewhat defend themselves, hopefully. Subs still may get a lucky shot in, but at least we'll know we'll get them back. Let's get the C3 flash loaded up, and then the Cimarron needs to have oil on it. And the destroyers can transport a little bit of troops too. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. I don't mean to sniffle into the mic, but with that, we will get started. We'll fast forward time here. Yeah, this is all time based. Everything you see here is a real time. The days ticking by. Right now you can see it's August 7th, 1942, day 0, day 1 basically. And it's 2200 hours, so we are well into night, which means our carrier is pretty much useless until daytime. So we'll just leave it right there. Let the transport catch up, because it'll be escorting it. Actually, I think I'm gonna put them together. I don't know why I kept them as separate fleets. We probably should have just done them in 2. That way the carrier stays with the transports in case they get attacked. Okay, enter encounter. Bottom left-hand corner where Task Force 3 says encountered a vessel. And being that I don't see anything on the map, it's going to be a submarine. What I was just speaking of. This is not good. It's 7:30 a.m. I think our carrier is just out of air range, so we can't send planes with depth charges to take this thing out. So it's going to have to be up to our destroyers to hold the line. And of course, these ships are full of supplies, and it would be very bad if one of them gets sunk. Very, very bad, because we only get so many supplies per week at our main base. So if we get hit here, we're going to be set back considerably. Go ahead and get our ships in formation with the Fletcher classes up front, because odds are it'll be up front. And we will begin. This is the tactical map, and this is the live actual map. Let's go ahead and get our sonar and radar on. Let's go ahead and select all our ships and break them all. Normally you want to keep them together, but they're playing follow the leader right now, and this way it's easier to control them. I'll just set them all on individual tasks. Let's get this one set up on its sonar and radar in case there's anything in the air. This is the oil tanker. Let's go ahead and get it to max speed and hard to starboard. Let's go to our merchant ship, which is right over here. Same thing, max speed, hard to starboard. So our torpedoes are already in the water. Max speed, hard to starboard. If I can click it, there we go. Alright, bottom right hand map is the tactical map basically, but it's the live map where we can see the ships a little bit neater. Oh, alright, Jenkins reports contact, 1 submarine bearing 069 starboard. And right there on the tactical map, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to attack. Depth charge on 1. the Levante. Let's go ahead and just get it in that direction. Yeah. And now our ships are going hard to starboard right towards the sub, which may not be the best. It may shorten the time the torpedoes have to get to us, which I'm trying to look for and scan the water in front of us. I don't see any, so maybe he didn't get them off yet. But the sea state, which there are different sea states. There's sometimes this water is glass steel, but being that we're in the open ocean, it's not so much the case. When you get around the Guadalcanal, the actual water will be pretty calm. It's pretty cool looking. The game is, for what it is, very impressive in the graphics and the detail they put into it. That's what I like about some games, is they put a lot of detail in. And when it comes to World War II, which is close to my heart, I like those little detail things. Still don't see any torpedoes in the water. Doesn't mean they're not there, but usually sometimes you can see a little trail come from the backside of the torpedo. Reports torpedoes in the water. Okay, zoom in the map. We have 6 torpedoes spread right at starboard of the Cameron. We're going to hard to port on this freighter. You can just go straight ahead. Yeah. Now, Jenkins, where you at? Come on, let's get this thing going. Lafayette, let's go ahead and brake and reorder command to go towards it, and let's slow her down. Another little detail they put in on these games. If your ship's going full burn on the engines, it will actually stop your sonar from being able to hear things, which is true to real life as well. Here's a good glimpse of our enemy sub real quick. Give us to see where we are on the fleet. It's pretty close. And there's Jenkins to the right screen coming in. Cameron, which is an armored transport. Apparently I didn't realize they had guns. I knew it had AA guns, but go ahead and straighten C3 out. You're good. The other C3 is good. And Jenkins is coming in. It's one thing I like I said, I like World War II games. It's a history that hopefully will never be repeated in any kind of fashion. These men were hard men. It's probably why I enjoy playing these games. While I say enjoying, this is fiction, but this really did happen. Scenarios like this did occur. So it kind of takes you back, and it kind of gives you into the moment. We're dropping torpedoes, depth charges all around her. Maybe we get lucky and get one to detonate on her. Nope. All around her. Well, maybe that one. Her props are still going full burn now, so if it did any damage, it wasn't enough to stop her. Still bombing her. There's the Jenkins. She seems to be slowing down. I'm going to speed up time here a little bit. See what Jenkins is wanting to do. Apparently nothing. So let's go ahead and give her another command to attack. Actually, let's go ahead and speed her up. Maybe she's just stuck. Go ahead and fast forward time here again. Yeah, if we played this in real time, we'd be here all day. This type is a Type B. As Jenkins comes over top for another depth charge run. That one looks good. Maybe we can get lucky. Yeah, that one hurt her. Get another close one. Close enough. We did some damage. Okay, this sub is now in critical condition. Yes, their prop has come to a complete stop. Being this is a normal sub where you have to move in order to maintain your buoyancy. They'll need to blow their ballast and head to the surface, and then we'll shoot them down. Nope, never mind. I was going to say they had to either head up to the surface or they're going to die like they just did. They didn't have time to blow their ballast tank, which sometimes you have, sometimes you don't. We'll put this little cinematic shot of it sinking to the bottom. And that is first blood in a war on the sea. Luckily, they didn't strike first. We did. The sub is continuing to sink. It will hit crush depth and implode. So I think we're in deep enough water. Yep. Alright, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll leave it here. Thank you for watching.
Also, if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Thanks.